we are halfway through the Pro 01 WRC, and now I think it's time for us to get through to the second round of the championship, and where, after giving it some consideration for the last 7 rounds, I think I will show the cutscenes prior to the rallies getting underway, because, well, I dare to do things a bit differently. Okay, let's move on to the cutscene. In Kenya.
As if tarmac, snow and gravel aren't punishment enough, now comes the exhausting heat of Kenya. To many, this 50-year-old competition represents rallying in its purest form. The cars cover vast distances across hard, open terrain, and it's an immense physical challenge. Obstacles to overcome range from flash floods to wandering wildlife. They call it the safari rally, but are the drivers the hunters or the prey?
I figured it would just be ideal for me to start showing the cutscenes here prior to these rallies getting underway, because, well, we're pretty much into the second half now, and I'm also pretty sure that at this point I now have an unassailable lead, so I figured I might as well, you know, show you the cutscenes. And you know what? Just as a one-off, I will do the shakedown. Even though I have already shown you this once before, I figured I would at least show you the shakedown once before we get to the end of this. And I am also showing the loading screen here because, well, this is only the shakedown. I want to see if my car handles okay here. And it looks like I cannot change view here. Well, it is interesting. Fortunately, from what I know at least, the shakedown stages don't really take too long to get through. And that's a sandbank. And, yep, okay. I was clearly not ready for this. And, yep. I landed my car in the ditch. Yeah, this is really not a good shakedown stage for me. Fortunately, however, that wasn't timed. It's also good to know that it wasn't... It's also good to know that it wasn't in the actual stage itself. Also doesn't help to say that I couldn't change from the cockpit view, because I'm not really used to that shit. Anyway, let's move on to the actual stage.
3, 2, 1, go!
And so begins the Safari Rally. And yes, I did figure I would give a one-off for the shakedown stage because, well, that's precisely what I did in the normal championship. And yes, from this point on, I will be showing the prior cutscenes to these rallies as well from here onwards because, well, we're into the second half of the championship now, and also because, well, I'm pretty sure at this point my lead is unassailable. In other words, the odds of anyone catching up to me before the end of this are practically slim to impossible. Also, because I should mention here in Kenya, the player does get quite the advantage. I just figured I'd mention that. but either way,
150, left
that's
3,
okay for me.
open. Onto mud, 100, caution.
Basically, I just need to worry about scoring points from here,
100, left
and
2.
I'm pretty sure that is not going to be too much of an issue either, because of how I basically dominated the Safari Rally last time.
100, left 4, tighten.
So I'm convinced in saying that the sands of Kenya will not be too punishing to me and my Citroen. I think I should very much be here for the taking. In terms of my performance. And I've gone way too wide to that corner. Fortunately, however, I did have a big lead coming into this sector split, so I think we should be okay. I barely scored the win in the end, but that's okay, because I'm convinced in saying the other stages will be better than this. Okay, let's move on now to stage 2. Okay, one stage is down in the Safari Rally. And these are your results after stage 1. As we've got a bit of manufacturer parity in terms of the top 6. As we've got 2 Peugeots, 2 Subarus and 1 Ford in the top 6. With Peter Solberg just finishing outside the top 6. Then we have Armin Schwartz, Carlos Sainz and Tommy Mäkinen rounding out the top 10. And then we have Kenneth Eriksson leading P11 and Pierre Eliatti in P16. And Marcus Gronholm currently P17 with Gilles Panizzi being P21. So 0.8 of a second after I had that fuck up in the previous stage, but either way, I'm convinced in saying my gap will increase. So there's your top 6 so far, with Peter Solberg just being on the cusp of the top 6 in the 3rd Subaru. And here is where everyone else is. Okay, let's now get on with stage 2.
Three, two, one, go!
So altogether,
Over crest. Caution.
stage 1 actually went really well until I got caught up on that one sandbank that basically caused me to lose most of the time I had. But regardless, I still came away with the win, and I am hopeful in saying that I can manage to gain a bit more time compared to before. And yep, I have collectively opened myself to the high banks again. But you know what? I think I'll manage. So got a 4-second advantage now over Didier, as Bernsey currently runs in P3. And Colin McRae is inside the top 4. And the reason they refer to him as Ford driver is because, well, Evolution at the time did not have the licensing rights to use his name. because of the Colin McRae Rally Series that was taking off at ironically the same time. And there will be a total of 5 games in that series as well, from 1998 up to the end of 2004. And then from 2007 onwards it became known as the Dirt Series. So I gained a little time in that 4th sector after losing a bit of time, but either way, I would say the tabs I'm keeping so far are actually pretty good ones. And I am managing to stay on the road as well, which is another good thing. So, just got 1 corner to go. And I win in the end by 2.8 seconds over Didier Auriol and Richard Burns. Okay, let's move on. So stage 2 is now beaten, and we still have another 3 stages to go. So, you know what? I think I will save the replay here, because I can, and also because I did make sure to record my replay prior to this, so I think we should be fine. Okay, replay saved, and 3 Subarus inside the top 6 for this stage. That's actually pretty good. So Didier finished in P2, and it was Colin who finished in P6. And Armin Schwartz was best of the rest in the Skoda. And Tommy did not have a good run in that stage as he finished P11, whereas Freddie finished P14. Not looking good for the Mitsus, if I do say so myself. And Marco Martin finished at the bottom in the 4th Subaru. He's really not living up to expectations at the moment, is he? Anyway, these are your results now, as I have a 3.7 second lead over Didier, and Burnsy is still in P3, with Colin P4, Toshihiro P5, and Petter Solberg in P6. With Harry Rovanpera currently being best of the rest in the leading Peugeot. Well, the second Peugeot. And there's the other 2 Fords. 2 of the 3 Hyundais, and the bottom 3 rounded off once again by Gilles Panizzi. And a quite distant round off, I might add. Anyway, on to stage 3.
3, 2, 1, go!
And I get bogged down off the launch.
50 over crest.
And I get caught out by the grass and mud. But you know what? I'm okay with that, because I expect that sort of start. As long as my pace is able to stay decent. Okay. That was definitely a crest I just crossed over there. And there's a jump. And currently leading by 7/10 over Didier. Subaru seems to be running pretty good in the sand right now. Even though this is very much inland sand. Because we're very much in the savannah here. With all the desert waste, with all of the sea of sand, and basically just the trees and shrews that surround it. Even though wildlife obviously is not present in the game itself. But in real life I imagine it probably is, considering they recently did bring back the Safari Rally, if I recall correctly. At least I'm pretty sure they did bring it back to Kenya. Although I couldn't tell you why. Still unfortunate to say they don't have Rally Great Britain anymore. I definitely feel like that's one venue they should return to someday, because it made sense for it to be an event with practically having so much history as pretty much being the finale for the championship. Virtually every year at one point for decades. And it is fair to say that a lot of people obviously did like the challenges of Rally Great Britain. I would like it if they could return there someday. It would definitely make sense for it to be a season finale again. So it looks as though Didier is going to take P2 in the leading Peugeot, and Burnsy is probably going to take P3. So using my initials again, because, well, I kind of have to. And that was Stage 3. And where this time, Armin Schwartz finishes inside the top 6 in the Skoda. So still got 2 Subarus inside the top 6. Well, okay, let me start over. So these are the stage results. Myself over Didier, Richard, Colin, Armin, and Patter in terms of the top 6. And Toshihiro just finishes outside the top 6 by 4 seconds. He was best of the rest. And here is everyone else, with Piero Liatti rounding off the order in the third Hyundai. I don't know why I keep getting confused with thinking it's 2 when it's 3. I don't know, anyway. 7-second lead over Didier, with RB running in P3, then it's Colin McRae P4, Petter Solberg P5, and Toshihiro Arai still holds P6, with Armin Schwartz currently being best of the rest in the leading Skoda. And here are the other 2 Fords inside the top 12, and got 2 Citroens in P13 and 15, so a good run by their standards, I think. And Jopanizzi is still at the bottom, and he'll probably stay at the bottom, the way things are currently going. Anyway, on now to stage 4. And so we begin the 4th stage of the Safari Rally.
50, right 3, into left 2.
And now I flipped the car over. Well, luckily I did not do any mechanical damage to the car when I went over that bank. Fortunately, the banking did not cause any serious damage to the car. And whilst my leads up to this point have not been as dominant for most of these rallies, it is fair to say that in the rallies where the player has the advantage, it definitely shows where the player has the advantage. As Richard Burns is now currently P1 in the stage in the leading Subaru, and I wouldn't think he's going to lose that lead the way my stage is currently going, unless I can really start to gain some time back again without somehow wrecking myself before the end of this, as of which I've already done that once. And Didier is now back on top, so I think it's fair to say this is going to be an interesting one compared to last time, when I absolutely mopped the floor with the field before. But this time at least, I do manage to keep my car on the road. And because it is a long stage, it means I do have plenty of time to get back any seconds I lost. As to how many I get back here, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to get any seconds back. Unless I can manage to close to within 6 seconds of DDA. Would be really nice if I could start gaining some time instead of losing it. Because Richard Burns is not out of this rally either yet. So I do have to be mindful of that. Huh. I gain a shit ton of time in Sector 4. I was not expecting that to be the case, but I somehow gained... And now I've jinxed myself. I've completely fucking cursed myself. And the game is not resetting me, so... Oh, now it decides to reset me. Yeah, that was literally 20 seconds too late, dumbass. You should have done that before. That was literally way too late for that to be in time for a reset. Fuck my ass. Oh great, now I've got axle damage. And now my rally is fucked. Unless I can somehow gain it back again. But somehow I don't think so. Okay, well, I think I'll still be in the lead of the rally regardless, but it will only be a 1 second lead. We'll have to check to be sure, but I think it'll be a 1 second lead. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, I should still have the lead of the rally. And yes, I do, by just a second. And Armin Schwartz now moves up into the points as a result of him finishing P6, and Toshihiro finishing in P8. So P3 in stage 4, as Didier now moves to a second behind me. RB finishes P2, then myself P3, Petter Solberg in P4, then Colin P5, and Armin Schwartz P6 in the leading Skoda. And Marcus Gronholm, Harry Roven Para finished best of the rest. And here is everyone else. Okay. So I hold on to a 1 second lead over Didier, so this is pretty much the stage for all the marbles, as RB has pretty much clinched his third position. Then we've got Colin P4, Petter in P5, a very secured P5 I might add, and Armin is in P6, with Toshihiro now being best of the rest. And there are the other two Fords. And P13 to 18, sandwiched by the two Citroens. And the bottom three rounded off by Schulpanizzi in the 4th Peugeot. Okay, final stage. Let's hope this one goes better. Alright, final stage of Rally Kenya. Let's try and see if we can hold on for the win. I'll also be pretty unsurprised if I don't hold on for the win. But hopefully, since this is a long stage, I should be able to hold on, as Didier is already a second behind me in the first sector split. It'll be hard to say for sure over where exactly this will go, but as long as I don't completely overshoot the last corner of the stage like I did before, and then basically wait what feels like an eternity for the reset mechanism to come into play, I think we should be okay. That's okay because I'm still ahead of Didier, and he's the guy I need to be ahead of. I don't have to win the stage, I just have to beat Didier in the stage. And then the rally will pretty much be mine, because obviously, well, Richard, he unfortunately has no chance of winning, because he is so far behind me. Okay, and I now get back up to the top of the stage again, so let's try and see if Philippe Bugalski can manage to hold on for the win. And hopefully he should be able to. And hard on the brakes through that hairpin. And another hairpin follows suit. And I almost got caught out there by the grass, but able to hold on. And Harry Rovenpera is inside the top 4 in that sector, which interests me. But anyway. And through the right-hander. And just got half a sector split to go. And then we should be able to finish this on top, I hope. And we do, with a 7-second victory over Didier. I think that's pretty much going to give me the rally win regardless of what happens. So there we go. I, like I did in the normal championship, win Rally Kenya. Although this time around it was a lot closer, but then I had to put together a dominant final stage in order to officially put together the rally win. So, as a result of us winning, we've now unlocked down below another cheat code, I'm pretty sure. And just want to check to be sure that a replay is saved. And yep, one is saved. And these are the results of the top 6. So I win by 7 seconds over Didier, then Burnsy finished in P3, followed by Colin McRae in P4, Toshihiro P5, and Harry Rovenpera in P6. With Petter Solberg and Armin Schwartz finishing best of the rest in 7th and 8th positions respectively. And Thomas Radstrom had a good final stage as he finished P12. And there is your bottom 3. Rounded off once again by Gilles Panizzi. So 8.4 second margin of victory in the end over Didier Auriol in the Peugeot, who gets some much needed points for Peugeot, since they only have 6 points on the board until now, which moves their total up to 12. And Subaru have scored a whole haulage of points, as they finish 3rd, 5th and 6th respectively, giving them 7 points. Colin is the sole Ford driver in the points with 3 points, and Harry Rovenpera finishes best of the rest in the 2nd Peugeot, with Armin Schwartz in P8, Carlos Sainz P9, and Kenneth Eriksson P10 in the leading Hyundai. and Francois Delacour finished in P11 with Bruno Thierry in P16, rounded off by 2 evenly separated Mitsus and Citroens. And there is the bottom 5, rounded off by Gilles Panizzi in the 4th Peugeot. Okay. Yeah, the world's toughest rally, we have won. As I now have a 76-point lead, since both Carlos and Tommy now failed to score points. I think that's the first time all season that both my championship rivals have failed to score points. So I now have a 41-point lead over Carlos. Tommy is P3. Richard Burns, as a result of him finishing 4th, gets some much needed points for Subaru and himself. And Didier now moves up to P6 as a result of him finishing runner-up in Kenya. And still got a few ties to settle, but hopefully we'll get round to settling those sooner rather than later. And Petter Solberg has also become another driver to score points, so that now moves our total up to 15 drivers on the board, as the other 6 are yet to score. So Petter Solberg now becomes the 15th driver to score points in this championship. And in the Constructors, Citroën now has a 27-point lead over Ford. And Mitsubishi, as a result of them failing to score, gets 0 points. Subaru scores 9 points for some anonymous reason. I'm going to assume the second probably didn't count for Peugeot in the Constructors for some reason. I don't know, anyway. So Skoda is apparently now tied for 5th in the standings with Peugeot, and Hyundai is still at the bottom with 5. So the bottom 3, they're really duking it out for who will finish P5 in the standings. Anyway, 8 rallies down, 6 to go, as we now head for Finland.